Shalom right now. This is your brother Josh coming at you live in effect. Torah Tarawah nights. You know what I'm saying? Hey, yo. All praises to Yahweh Akkad. Yahweh is one, the eternal, from within to without. You dig? So, since Yahweh is a man of war, the strategist, we're going to go into the blessings and the curses of the two mountains where Yasharal was told to recite the blessings and the curses on. All right? So let's just jump into it. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of brothers out here don't understand the way Yahweh coming for their throat. You know what I'm saying? Choke them out. The best way to do this is through strategy. Let those with the ear to hear. Yo, blessings and curses. This is Deuteronomy 27:11. Moses commanded the people on that day, saying, "These shall stand to bless the people on Mount Gerizim. When you have crossed the Jordan, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Joseph, Benjamin. And these shall stand for the curse on Mount Abal. Reuben, Gad, Asher, Zebulun, Dan, Naphtali. The Levites shall speak up and say to every man of Yasharal in a loud voice, Accursed is the man who will make a graven molten image, an abomination of Yahweh, a craftsman's handiwork, and then place it in secret. And the entire people shall speak up and say, Amen." Now, is the temple man being placed in secret? Do y'all have altars in your house of the drawing of the temple man, putting candles to it, talking to it, asking it to save you? If you're doing that and no one sees it but you and Yahweh, then that's a secret. Okay, let's carry on. Accursed is the one who degrades his father or mother, and the entire people shall say Amen. Accursed is the one who moves the boundary of his fellow, and the entire people shall say Amen. That one especially moves the boundary of his fellow. That means that if your fellow was given a set boundary and you decide that you're going to shrink said boundary and to enlarge your boundary, accursed you shall be. So let's continue on. Accursed is the one who perverts a judgment of a proselyte, orphan, or widow, and the entire people shall say Amen. Accursed is the one who lies with the wife of his father, for he will have uncovered the robe of his father, and the entire people shall say Amen. Accursed is the one who lies with any animal, and the entire people shall say Amen. Accursed is the one who lies with his sister, and the daughter of his father, or the daughter of his mother, and the entire people shall say Amen. Accursed is the one who lies with his mother-in-law, and the entire people shall say Amen. Accursed is the one who strikes his fellow stealthily, and the entire people shall say Amen. Stealthily means premeditated, in stealth, hidden, secretly, lying in wait to strike your fellow man. Where have we seen that one before? Accursed is the one who takes a bribe to kill a person of innocent blood, and the entire people shall say Amen. Accursed is the one who will not uphold the words of this Tarawah to perform them, and the entire people shall say Amen. Now that we have read those, let's get into the metaphysics. There's that word, metaphysics, super physics, right? Let's get into the principalities. Let's rise up, praise y'all. Let's rise up. Let's elevate into the mind and see that Yasharal not only are a people, but are principles. That's right. Yasharal are principles. You are elements of creation that Yahweh uses to perform creation. That's right. That's right. Now, who's going to tell you that? All praises to Yahweh. All praises to Yahweh. Because if you think about Adama, and Adama is Adam, of course, do we not simply see Adam, A-D-A-M, atom, A-T-O-M, right? Scientific, physical, scientifically physical, physically scientific, Adam. You know what I'm saying? Deep within. And so within Adam are the elements of creation. Hence, Adam was drawn from the Arats, from the fertile dirt, which is charged and has been manifested with the elements of creation. Right? Right? Or wrong? What is Yahweh telling you from within? Let's continue on. So, we have the two mountains, 27:12, right? Deuteronomy 27:12. These shall stand to bless the people on Mount Gerizim when you have crossed the Jordan: Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Joseph, and Benjamin. Mount Gerizim, roughly translated in Strong's as cuttings off, right? With the letters Ga, Ra, Za, Yam. Ga, Ra, Za, Yam, right? Gerizim. Blessings were read here upon entering Canaan. So the blessings, right, were read here upon entering Canaan. Now, let's get into this word Gerizim, right? Because we know Adama is created of the elements of the Arats, right? Matter, dark matter, right? But y'all didn't hear that from me. Here we go. Depth, right? Gather, walk. First, top, beginning. Food, cut, nourish. Work, throw, worship. Chaos, mighty, blood. Ga, Ra, Za, Yam. Ga, gather or walk, right? Ra, the first, the top, the beginning. Za, food, cut, nourish. Now, these are different elements based on one letter. So this is why when brothers like to say, so-called brothers, I should say, that there's no spiritual connotations to our living Tharawah, then you have to question why certain brothers would say such things. You have to. You have to, because they want you to see one level, right? When, as we see here, even with one letter, there's at least two levels, three, and also more based on the combination, right? Now, this is for the brothers that Yahweh has opened up to understand that the Tharawah is a living language, and that not only is it a living language, but you are Dabar, the living word, filled with Rawak, those dry bones who were reconstituted, right? That's why we must edify. Like Bad Brains said, edification first, then have some fun, right? So Yah, of course, is work, throw, or worship. Work, throw, or worship. And Mam, chaos, mighty, blood, or the waters, right? The mem, chaos, mighty, blood, the waters, changeable, chaos, right? When you hear chaos, you think disorder, but it doesn't mean always in a negative sense. Chaos just means unaligned, ready to be lined up in a chaotic state. But it does, don't get me wrong, it does mean without order, right? So let's even visit our fellow Semitic languages, Arabic, and let's get the connotations, because Arabic and our brothers, our cousins, I should say, Ishmael, like to relate their letters to Allah, which essentially is nothing wrong, because as Allah, Allahayim, right, is the power of powers. So let's see. We got Ga, which is he who assembles. We got Ra, represents Lord, of course. We got the Za, represents purifier. We got the Ya, representing chief. And we got the Mem, representing king. Now, of course, these are qualities, they would say, of Allah. And it's not entirely wrong, because we know that Allahayim is the power of powers, right? He who assembles, the Lord, purifier, chief, and king. To gather, first, the food, to work the chaos, right? To walk as the top, and cut and throw mightily. To perform, ultimately perform, which is only what Yahweh is, which is what Yahweh does, ultimately perform, right? Beginning, nourish, worship, waters or bloods or life, right? Life with the ruach, the blood, Yasharal. These are the blessings. Now, why is it these particular tribes were set apart in this particular instance to represent the blessings of Yahweh? Well, let's see, shall we? All right. Let's go to Genesis 49. Let's see. We have the blessings. So Simeon and Levi are comrades, very close. Their weaponry is a stolen craft, which means they used what was given to them and the knowledge based on what was given to them a little bit outlandishly, a little bit, they went too far with it, right? Because they're strong, they're warriors, but they went a little too far with it in certain instances. Into their conspiracy, may my soul not enter. So when they decide to use their abilities that Yahweh has given them for extra, to going extra, then Yahweh is not with them, right? And they suffer for the consequences, which they have. With their congregation, do not join. Oh, my honor. So he's implicitly saying, I will not be them, my name, his honor, right? Being that this is Jacob talking, but we know Jacob is speaking from the standpoint of Yahweh giving him his honor. So we can still see that it's Yahweh showing us that Yahweh will not be with them when they decide to go off on their own things. Into their conspiracy, may my soul not enter. With their congregation, do not join. Oh, my honor. For in their rage they murdered people, and at their whim they hamstrung an ox. Accursed is their rage, for it is intense, and their wrath, for it is harsh. I will separate them within Jacob, and I will disperse them in Israel. So we see that Simeon and Levi will be dispersed amongst all the tribes, right? And further on, when we go into Exodus, Deuteronomy, when Moses gives the blessings to the tribes, we see that Simeon is not counted amongst them. Levi still is, of course. But we should know that Simeon is still scattered amongst. They weren't just wiped away with. You know what I'm saying? The same with Dan. Even though Dan, so-called, is not mentioned in Revelations, that doesn't mean that Dan was totally wiped away. Now, Dan was used for purposes throughout history. And you all should look up the story of the tribe of Dan, and see where Dan has been dispersed and what Dan has influenced among other nations, in the positive, as in thwarting schemes of rival nations, and in the negative, as promoting themselves as judges over Yasharal when they should have never have done that. That's another thing, but please look that up. All right. So Judah, your brothers will acknowledge. Your hand will be at your enemy's nape. Your father's sons will prostrate themselves to you. A lion cub is Judah. From the prey, my son, you elevated yourself. He crouches, lies down like a lion, and like an awesome lion. Who dares rouse him? The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a scholar from among his descendants, until Shiloh arrives. And his will be an assemblage of nations. He will tie his donkey to the vine branch, his donkey's foal. He will launder his garments in wine, and his robe in the blood of grapes. The warrior, red-eyed from wine and white-toothed from milk. Dawad, much props. We all know this is Dawad that this is speaking about. Check your Chronicles and Kings. It goes like this. So these two right here are tribes that are mentioned in the blessings of the first mountain, the mountain of blessings, the mountain that below has running streams and has foliage upon it, more so than the other mountain. And we'll get to the other mountain in a second. I might have to split this in two. So we'll just go over the mountain of the curse, of the blessings, and then the mountains of the curse, Salak. All right. So Issachar is mentioned here too. Issachar is a strong-boned donkey. He rests between the boundaries. He saw tranquility that is good, and the land that it was pleasant. Yet he bent his shoulder to bear, and he became an indentured laborer. So Issachar is the laborer, one of the main laborers amongst Yasharal. Issachar is a strong-boned donkey. He rests between the boundaries, right? So Issachar is spread far across also, but Issachar also represents one who is there and willing to work. He saw tranquility that was good, and the land that it was pleasant. Yet he bent his shoulder to bear, and he became an indentured laborer. So Issachar is the laborer. Remember, these tribes on this particular mountain represent the blessings. So these tribes being blessings, their qualities, their principles, their element, their richness is for a blessing to Yasharal, right? So let's get to the other tribe that's mentioned in the blessings. Joseph, a charming son is Joseph, and Joseph is also mentioned where Jacob shunned Simeon and Levi because they hamstrung an ox. And whenever they mentioned here, it's also a reference to Joseph when they sold him to Egypt because they hamstrung an ox, and Joseph being representative of the ox, right? And also being representative of their fathers, because Jacob loved Joseph, of course, representing of their father's power, right? Because Joseph was elevated later on, of course, into a position of power. So ox also representing power, right? Because the ox is powerful. They use the ox to plow their fields, right? And to do many other tasks. So Joseph, a charming son is Joseph, a charming son to the eye. Each of the daughters climbed heights to gaze. The ladies wanted to see him. They embittered him and became antagonists. The arrow-tongued men hated him. But his bow was firmly emplaced and his arms were gilded. From the hands of the mighty power of Jacob, that's Elohim. From there he shepherded the stone of Yasharal. that was from Elohim of your father, and he will help you. And with Shaddai, and he will bless you with blessings of heaven from above, blessings of the deep crouching below, blessings of the bosom and the womb. The blessings of your fathers surpass the blessings of my parents to the endless bounds of the world's hills. Let them be upon Joseph's head and upon the head of the exile from his brothers. So Egypt didn't know Joseph, but Egypt learned from Joseph, right? So why would Egypt want to use the things they learned from Joseph against Joseph? It makes no sense. All that happened was that Egypt made the lessons and the things Joseph and Yasharal taught through Joseph into carnal practices and traditions, stripped of its spiritual connotations. Therefore, Egypt and Egyptian-minded brothers to this day will always, always, always pick and choose different carnal arguments to make and tell you that the spiritual connotations of their carnal arguments originated from are no more. But they're liars. That's why Joseph is part of the blessings of this mountain. All praises to Yahweh God, man. Because Joseph, they couldn't touch Joseph's wisdom, right? Because Joseph had the wisdom of the valleys and the mountain tops and the valleys below. He had the wisdom. So Benjamin is a predatory wolf. In the morning, he will devour prey, and in the evening, he will distribute spoils. Right? So these are the tribes of the blessing. Mount Gerizim, right? The cuttings off, the separation of the blessings and the curses, right? To show you that in action, gather first the food and work the chaos into order. Make a blessing out of your doings, to walk the tops, to work, to throw, and to have it instilled with force. Yahweh will instill these insights into you with force, using force, because Elohim is the power of powers, and powers are principles, and Yasharal represent elements and principles that Yahweh uses to activate each other. We activate each other based off who we are. And when we are walking according to Yahweh, then we teach each other. These are lessons from the top to the bottom. All right. And from the bottom to the top. All praises Yahweh, man. You know what I'm saying? And like I was bringing out earlier, our cousins, even Ishmael, who speak a Semitic language, and you have to remember Ishmael, based off the Quran, likes to attribute all attributes to Allah. And Allah is simply power. And we know that powers come from Allah, or Al, or Elohim, right? He who assembles mightily and purifies chiefly. So this mountain and these blessings, which is what blessings do, is they assemble, fortify, produce the situation to create and not to undo, and to multiply goodness, right? So let's see if I forgot any. All right, so Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Joseph, Benjamin were the tribes set apart for the mountain of blessings. But hold up now. That does not mean that they will not be used as a sword against the rebellious house of Israel and other nations. Don't get it twisted. It's just that means that these particular tribes will be looked at amongst Yasharal as harbingers of blessing. And that's also not to say that the other 6 tribes that are mentioned in this Deuteronomy passage are not going to be used for blessings also. It just means that the other 6 tribes were more so built to be active as distributing, avenging, and distributing more so the components of severity and justice on other nations, right? And also spiritually, their particular elements represent those forces of creation that are used for those things such as severity, judgment, or what would be considered harshness, if you will, right? Or what would also be considered chaos. Because we know that Yahweh is over chaos and order. Because Yahweh is over all. Because Yahweh is Al-Ahayim. All praises to Yah. So we're going to just stop it here. And we're going to pick back up on the next one, on the curses on the other mountain. And to end it off, I want y'all to imagine, right? All of y'all know about the yin and yang. Everyone knows, or at least you should, if you've ever studied world religions, if you've ever studied thought or I guess you might say, let's just say world religions. If you've ever studied world religions, you've seen the yin and yang. If you've ever seen anime, if you've ever read comics, if you've ever seen movies, martial arts movies, so on and so forth. So that concept of the yin and yang is not merely a Japanese thing, a Chinese thing, a Mayan thing. It is a concept or an idea that goes way back, even to Adam, if you will. Because the concept is that you have the yin, which is mainly good, quote unquote, with a little bit of bad, and you have the yang, which is mainly bad with a little bit of good. So that's how forces work. Now, this is not something that you can explain to someone and then they can manipulate for their own purposes, because it's impossible for a person to even fathom how creation works in its totality, in its entirety. All we have is what Yahweh gives us in tidbit form, that we can learn how to better understand ourselves and how we can be better listeners to Yahweh, or listeners of Yahweh, or servants of Yahweh, to serve Yahweh, right? All praises to Yah. And to the haters out there, hey, Yahweh's still going to curse you. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all hate to hear it. And I can hear it. Oh man, they're just saying Yahweh, but Yahweh ain't with them. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, y'all can just keep saying that all day, all night, but toward night still gonna smash you down. You know what I'm saying? Still gonna smash you down. Now I never understand why brothers who are supposed to be brothers, if you don't understand something, say you don't understand it. Right? If it ain't for you, it ain't for you. Move on. You dig? Because what you don't understand is what's going to be smashing you. Right? If it ain't for you, it ain't for you. Right? I'm not going to go off on something that ain't for me. I ain't going to come on and be like, hey, yo, I'm about to be a super duper scholar and break down all of the scriptures for you. No. I'm only going to give you what I receive and what I have been raised and studied over the years. You know what I'm saying? And this is just scratching the surface, man. And hopefully, y'all willing that the little tidbits that I have put out have been beneficial for those who really listen, who are really opening, and who are like me and who receive the message of Yahweh like I do. You know what I'm saying? Because we're all different and we all receive the message differently. But for those who this ain't for, if you want to you want to criticize it, you want to ridicule it, just understand this. If what you don't understand is what's going to take you out. You dig? So what's the best thing to do? Hey, either ask for clarity or move along. You dig?